There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
So one day, I wake up early in the morning, early as 8 o'clock, and I make my way to my stinky school. In my first period class, algebra. I have to pull up, and the first thing that I have to face is algebra. Already, I do not want to be there. I am already dreading every decision that led me to this moment. I stayed up last night late as well, working out to actually get some gains for the huzz. But no. My teacher then decides she gets the brightest of ideas and tells us that she wants us to stand up to learn a dance that will help us memorize a shitty equation that I do not care about and will have zero use for in the future. I do not want to stand up and do her dance because of course I don't want to do that. So I tell her, I am not gonna do that. I am quite alright staying in my spot. I will memorize the equation on my own terms. If that's alright, I will perform. But I do not want to stand up and do this thing. I am not feeling like it. This was the moment. This was the exact moment that I realized, oh my god, these teachers are some of the pettiest, most pathetic people in the world, and they have so much power over so many people. It is actually insane that they have that much power over people and they are this inadequate, mediocre, and inept at their jobs. It is actually disgraceful to the society that we live in that these people are in charge of the youth. This woman decides that I will stand up, I will do her dance, and I will not be able to say no. Why? Because she said so. Because I hurt her ego by trying to say no. I have other things I want to do, and doing your silly little dance is not one of them. She decides to start arguing with me over this. Mind you, I am like 14 in this scenario. This woman decides that I will do this or it will be the last thing she ever does. She starts arguing with me, saying all this. You think you're better than everybody in this class? You think they all have to do this dance, but you don't? Do you think that you're above them and your time is more special? What are you talking about? I respond. I never even implied such a thing. I am just telling you that I will not be doing this because I don't feel like it. I am sore from yesterday. I do not want to do the first thing in the morning. I do not want to just stand up and do a silly little dance for algebra. I do not want to do that. So we're going back and forth in this until this girl in the front of the class butts in and says, "Just do it. You're holding us all back. You're just being annoying at this rate. You don't look cool trying to not do it and arguing with her." What? What are you talking about? Nobody even implied that. Get out of my face, clown. No one's even talking to you about this. So as the reasonable man that I am, I turn to her and then I tell her, mind your fucking business. No one's talking to you, Rasputia. Now, did I kind of go a little too hard on that one? Maybe I did, but honestly, I don't care. Why was she even butting in the first place? Why would she get involved when no one's even talking to her? And I am obviously the one that is the underdog in this problem. Why would she take the teacher's side? Because she's dick riding. We all know it. She's just there for the grade. And because nobody liked her in that class, she has to go after somebody just to feel a little bit of validation. So the teacher then, she goes and then starts defending her number one dick rider. She goes, "Don't speak to her like that. Don't speak to her like that. You're not gonna come in my class and disrespect me and my students." The woman then waddles her way to the phone, calls security, waits until they get here. That's right, no. She makes us sit in silence until she does that. Did that work? No, because I turned around immediately as she called security and said, "We're all gonna stand here and wait until we get the disturbance of my class out of here." I turned to my friend and we start chatting it up. We start laughing at her dumbass right on her face. She thought she was gonna keep us there in silence and we were just gonna take it. No. We start talking even more. And then I start absolutely roasting the girl for defending the teacher until security comes. They escort me out. I make my way to the dean's office. He sits me down and then he asks me what happened. I explain it to him and then he realizes, oh, so she's just being ridiculous. And I tell him, Of course she's just being ridiculous. We all know she's just being ridiculous. So he then tells me, as the chillest man that he is, he tells me, alright, so here's the deal. I'm just gonna keep you here for like 10-ish minutes. You can just sit here, and then I'm gonna send you right back to her. If she asks what I did, just tell her that I yelled at you or something. I don't know. But you're alright. You're not in any trouble. Man, oh, I miss that man. What a chill dude. I dapped him up right then and there, and then I got on my phone and I just waited. Soon as I make my way to the class, I just sit down and I don't even say anything. I don't even say anything. She brings up attention to it. She asks, so how was it? And I was like, oh, it was so much fun. With, of course, with a sarcastic undertone. Can't throw my boy under the bus like that. I'm glad then. I'm glad. Like, okay. That is such a huge problem, man. That is such a huge problem because there are so many teachers that are like that. They have the most pettiest of reasons to go after some of these kids. You see so many examples with so many girls as well. I was lucky enough to just have petty arguments with them about like respect and not talking back. Some of these girls are telling me their horror stories about teachers going after their grades directly. Why is that even allowed? And it's such a common thing to do, apparently. What? What do you mean it's common? These girls are telling me that they would just have one argument with a teacher, and the teacher would then just not even argue with them back, because most of the arguments I've seen with teachers that are women and then with girls, they're just screaming matches. There's no winning and there's no witty banter. It's just screaming. Once that reaches a climax, the girls just tell me, yeah, and then the teacher just goes quiet, and then she just goes after my grade for the whole year, and that's why I failed. What? What? How is that even allowed? That is just apparently common all throughout the districts. You see that with so many other schools of just teachers going after other students' grades just because they don't like the kid, or they had some run-in with the parents, and then the teacher goes after like the grade of the kid just to get back at them. What? How is that even allowed? That is such a long-lasting effect on the kid's life. That actually has to do with their college applications. That has to do with program benefits. That has to do with economic help. That has to do with classes. That has to do with everything. And a teacher's just allowed to do that. That is wild. It is wild to me. Especially in the career field, that is common for your kid to come back from school and tell you, you will not believe what happened today. My teacher cried in class. She just had a mental breakdown right in the middle of the lesson. Just started crying and yelling, and then just started bawling her eyes out in front of us. A class full of 9-year-olds. I know to some kids it's happened sooner. Some say that it's like at 8. Mine was at 9. 9 years old, a teacher just started crying right in front of her. I've never heard of that just being demonized. They don't make fun of this. Nobody calls any attention to that. It's just common. We just accepted it like it's part of the job. Why is that common? That should not be common. It should not be the default for a grown person to start crying in front of kids because the kids are not listening to them. How could we even degrade ourselves to this point? That just these horrible teachers just make the whole education and trying in school just seem like such a drag, man. They just they ruined the taste of the whole thing for me. I would always just go and then vent about this to my other teacher in the next class. And as I'm doing this, I did this right after the woman that sent me to the security office. I went to my next period, and then I was telling my friends about this. And you know what they say? They informed me that this teacher, the one that sent me to the office, soon as our period ended and then the next batch of kids came in, she started talking shit about me. She started talking shit about a 14-year-old to her other class of 14-year-olds. A grown-ass woman, mid-50s, talking shit about a 14-year-old to other 14-year-olds. The clownery was out of this world. She starts the class off. and then tells them to do the dance, and then they all do it. Of course they all do it because apparently I was the exception in the whole school. They do the dance, and then after that's done, she says, "I'm so glad all of you guys are not like these other kids. There's another kid in my other class who made such a big deal about not wanting to do a dance. He held back the entire class for over half an hour and started being disrespectful toward me and his classmates just because he was being self-conscious about it." I could not believe what my friend informed me of. Are you serious? There is no way a grown woman was doing this. I could not believe it. I thought that was something that teachers went and then they did in the teachers' lounge, you know, an appropriate setting for talking shit about their students. No. This woman just threw professionalism just right out the window, and she started venting about me to other kids. Ooh, if I got my hands on that woman, I could not believe it. So we all started clowning on her. She apparently just had a whole reputation just for just being a horrible woman, really. Not even a bad teacher, just an overall horrible person. We went about our day, and then you tell the other teachers about this because they ask you, well, we heard that you got sent to the office, so what happened? You informed them of this as well. And then that's when the good teachers come into play, man. That's when they just come in clutch and they just save you from the depths of what is the horrifying school system. They just pull you out of that slob, and then they tell you, "Oh yeah, no, she's crazy. I'm glad you did that." Oh, oh, thank you. Thank you for validating me. Man, those teachers were the best ones, man. The ones that actually would put in effort. They would go check up on you if you seemed down. They would go and ask you questions if you understood the assignment specifically, not in front of the class to embarrass you, not pulling you out and just making a big deal out of your bad days. No. The ones that understood you were a regular person and would talk to you with an ounce of respect instead of just a brain-dead individual. Those were so good, man. I even still talk to some of mine that I've had to this day, and they are so chill. They are perfect human beings in my eyes. You cannot tell me otherwise. If they go into jail, I will defend them to the death. That is not gonna happen in my watch. And I'm glad that everybody would just come to a unanimous conclusion that those teachers were the peak of it. In my school, we had this vote, this poll, or this voting thingy where you could rate your teacher's performance, and from like a good, very good, and then mid, and then bad, and then very bad. And every single teacher that everybody hated would just have a unanimous very bad across the board. Just garbage. A 1-star review. 0 stars as a matter of fact. But the teachers that everybody just liked all throughout the school always won that. It was always the same teachers over and over and over again. Year after year, they would be the same teachers that would win that. Those teachers were the ones that got a bunch of letters for the Teachers Appreciation Day. They would get a bunch of gifts. They were drowned in letters, they were drowned in chocolates, and they were drowned in gifts. You would go to the teachers that nobody liked, and you smile. A smile would form on your face, seeing them and their empty desks, realizing you are trash at your job and nobody likes you and you need to kill yourself now. Apparently they informed me that the teacher of the year or something is voted up, and then whoever wins, they get to do like a speech or something, and then they win like a little certificate, or they get a bonus at the end. I think that just depends on your school. I have no idea, but that would always put an even bigger smile on my face, knowing that the teachers that we all liked got an even fatter check, and the other ones that we all just hated did not get one. That just made it even better. Ooh, oh, what's that? What's that? Nobody likes you, and you're bad at your job, and you get no bonus and no letters because you're a horrible person? Ooh, oh, that tastes so good. Tears. those beautiful, tasty tears. My beef with teachers just has not cooled down. It started from an early age and it went all throughout. And one would assume, oh my God, you are the problem. If you have this much of a problem with teachers, you are the problem. No. How dare you even insinuate such a thing? I had beef with teachers that everybody else would have beef with. That is not the same. This is not like one of those toxic relationships where I'm the one choosing the man and the guy just cheats on me with multiple of my friends. No. These teachers are assigned to me and they are bad at what they do. Completely different. And it's not even that it's just the teachers that are just teaching the same subject that I would just struggle at, that they just naturally get eroded over time. No. No, I loved a whole lot of my teachers from math, science, history, English. For some reason, the English ones were always the best ones. I don't even understand that logic behind that, but those were the best ones. The worst teacher that I would have would be for my Spanish class, and I already know Spanish. So that logic does not apply. Just because I understand the subject better and I struggle with one does not mean that I was gonna hate a teacher just naturally. No. Some of my math teachers were just straight ballers, man. They were just so great people that I would just unironically hang out with outside of school, and we have. So I rest my case. One of my algebra teachers sat us down and she did not teach us algebra. She just told us that the assignment for the week was to make a slideshow about this video that she was gonna play. And it was a 20-minute video about her home country of the Philippines. What do I care? Or that has to do with math? Nothing. Did you bet I did that slideshow? You bet your ass I did. I made the greatest slideshow. I was not gonna do math. She presented us with the opportunity. Of course, I'm gonna profit off of that. This slideshow I made had the juiciest transitions, fade in effects, fade out effects. All the letters were sliding in from the sides too. I did the best slideshow I could possibly do because I was not wanting to do any math for that whole week. She gave me hope for that week. She gave us a rest week, basically. I was so thankful for that woman. One would assume that even just as soon as you get out of your childhood years, they would get better. No, as soon as I entered my teen years, they got even worse. And then as soon as I entered adulthood, I just realized that these people just have a fundamental problem with themselves and are miserable. And there is no fixing it. The less interaction you have with your teacher, apparently it's just the better. Because as soon as COVID hit and I just did not see any of my teachers and they just assigned an assignment and I just did it and I turned it in, that was it. That was it. The whole process of teaching you something is the problem. They cannot just do the thing that is in their job description. Teach. They cannot do it. It is far too complicated for them to do. You talk with some of these teachers and they will tell you, oh yeah, no, that guy has no idea what he's doing. And apparently that's okay. Apparently that's allowed, and that gets you a full salary, that gets you paid vacation, that gets you sick days and benefits. That is why when people try and say, oh, these teachers need to get paid more. No, they need to up the bar for teachers to get paid more. I want to see a full clean house. I want to see just so many of them fired. Because on some of these classrooms, you enter and it's an old man that is still trying to use a chalkboard. Sir, we don't even use chalk. You need to be fired immediately because there is no way you should be teaching me anything at this rate. They need to swipe out that whole staff room and just start anew, up the bar for entering the teacher's place. They should do this just simultaneously. Bigger salary, bigger standards. Boom, there we go. Beautiful, just perfect. It should not just be a babysitting job, because I know a lot of the school districts treat it as such. They say that the parents just kind of drop off their kids at the school. That's why after school is such a big thing as well. They just treat it as some babysitting thing. No. You're not here to watch over me. You're supposed to teach me stuff. Why is this one thing that is supposed to be the main attraction for this thing just not being able to be produced? Why, if I went to a Wendy's and I ordered a Dave's double and they told me we're not doing any Dave's burgers? As a matter of fact, we're not doing any burgers, period. I'm sorry? I don't want your salads. I don't want your frosting. I came here for a burger. What is this? I don't know why this became such a widespread thing that just is allowed. If you cannot teach me, you should not be doing this. Your job is not a signer of homework. That should not just be your job. You're supposed to teach. There is no other career that has me this heated up besides maybe politician. Teacher is something that everybody has to be forced into and has a direct personal experience with. And there's nothing that gets me just more heated than this. I would just throw hands with most of these people if I saw them out in public, which is exactly why you never see your teachers in the same circles that they know their students go around in. They stay locked into their homes, or they go out of town to do anything else because they know that they will just be trashed on. They will be humiliated if any of their past students see them. In conclusion though, I despise some of these teachers and I love a very, very small number of these teachers. You guys are the real ones. For all the other ones, you should just quit.